welcome back to Kevin Reviews. I recently saw Superman. I know this is weeks late, but I was sick the week it was released, so I wasn't able to get it out, be able to see it. And recently, a friend of mine wanted to see it, so we went together. Um, we tried to go at one point, but the something was wrong with we had some issues. It was late at night. We apparently got the wrong tickets, which we did not intend. And when we, about 30 minutes in, the screen went blank. The audio was still playing, but the lights were up, and we were missing the movie. And by the time we kind of sort of got it sorted out, we just said we'll just try again tomorrow, and we got a refund. So I did recently see it, um, and and this is directed and written by James Gunn, and it stars David Corenswet, uh, Rachel Brosnahan. I'm actually reading off kind of because I'm trying to remember. Eddie Gathegi, Nathan Fillion, and Sarah Sampaio, and many more. But yeah, there is quite a lot of characters, both minor, and some major, that it's kind of hard to pick. And there's Bart just climbing down. So yeah, first things first. I will say that in terms of comic book movies, because this is the first comic book movie I'm reviewing on this channel. I love comic book movies. I love Marvel and DC. I'm more in terms of DC. I've been more of a Batman fan than I am a Superman fan. Um, I don't hate Superman, but as I like his character, but I think over the years, I think most people are kind of sick of him because he's overpowered to the point he's not a relatable character, much anymore. But it doesn't mean I hate him. And there are some good movies. There are still good movies with him in it, both live action and animated. So, um, as for this 2025 attempt by James Gunn, I thought it was really, really good. But I will say it left me pretty conflicted because I'm not sure if it's like, especially when you have Superman and Fantastic Four together on the same month. And I saw Fantastic Four before Superman, so in a way, it's like I'm comparing and contrasting, which is not a great idea, but to a degree, it's something that it's something that just occurs when I watch the movie. Um, so it is really good. There are problems. I will go with the pros. The acting is really good. David Corenswet is a really good Superman. Has good character. Still remains the same Superman character for the majority of the film. Um, Rachel Brosnahan, I hope I'm pronouncing that, is great as Lois Lane. I don't have much complaints. Nicholas Holt's interesting. I do kind of feel like it's like it's kind of like Heath Ledger, where he takes all the Jokers and makes it his own thing, and that's kind of here. It's not as impactful as Heath Ledger's Joker, but it's still pretty unique with some elements, even a teensy bit of the Jesse Eisenberg thing. Because I will admit, Nicholas Hoult maybe a little too young to be Lex Luthor. I'm not sure. I don't know his age currently, but I think it's fine. Um, I forgot to mention the plot. I will say the plots. I can't really give away the plot because there's just a lot to explain. Even the trailers don't quite give a ton. So, um, but let's just say, Superman has a really bad, day, and it really affects him, and Luthor is pretty much just messing with him all over the place. So, um, like I said, I don't want to do spoilers. I know pretty much almost everyone's seen it, but still, there may be some who haven't. Um, but the back to the acting. I think it's all very good. You got, I know in the trailers they show the Justice League, or in this one they call the Justice Gang when they kind of make some jokes about it. Nathan Fillion's pretty good. I think maybe I wish him again, like Nicholas Holt. Well, opposite of Nicholas Holt, I think he could be a little bit younger. I don't know. For some reason, I was thinking who would be a good Guy Gardner, Green Lantern. I was almost thinking like one of the Logan Paul from WWE, which I know he doesn't do acting, but I mean, I don't know. I think it could work, and I just keep tabs on WWE from time to time, not all the time. Um, Hawkgirl's kind of forgettable. I mean, not bad, but they don't do a ton for her in the film other than certain fight scenes. I think Eddie Gahidi as Gathigi, I'm sorry, um, did a fantastic job as Mr. Terrific. He's actually my favorite character, and I think one action scene just made me fall in love with the character. And I would love to see a movie if they do just a solo movie outing with him, because that would be pretty cool. And I mean, I mentioned the other actress, Sarah Sampaio, is also pretty good as Eve Tessmacher, who the character has been used in previous Superman films, like the Christopher Reeve Superman. And this one, she's kind of like the influencer, always on the phone all the time. Um, Kind of just does the piece and selfies and selfies, all the time. So, well, not all the time in the movie, but that's what it kind of gives off, especially in the intro. Um, the writing is good. The humor is good for the most part. I wasn't laughing, but it was pretty well balanced. I mean, there wasn't much humor I could have got out of from the beginning, but it got better as it went on, towards the middle and end. Um, so there's good things. I will There's good things about it. It is colorful. The CGI is very good. The visuals, it's grand. It feels epic in a way. Um, but yeah, I think it's very good. So going through some of the um, bad, some of the stuff, and this is kind of stuff I'm conflicted with, because I think for the most part, what really worried me was in the trailers. They were showing so much going on. It felt like they were throwing so much at you, like from Batman v Superman, Spider-Man 3 with the villains, and even Amazing Spider-Man 2 with their villains. It was just throwing so much at you with different characters that you had to um, pay attention to. And yeah, that it still feels overstuffed in general, but I think the story, for the most part, does at least keep your interest and keeps you excited for, a lot of the action scenes, the ideas and themes of the film, including like, social media. Um, I guess another thing was there was some controversy about the immigrants, immigrant stuff. And I can kind of see that. I'm not really going to touch so but much on the subject, but a lot of movies have to, like to do have these messages, and some have, and maybe some, and there are some that have merit. And I think in a way this does have merit. But again, I'm not going to go deep into this. It's not, you know, it's it is important though. I will say that. Um, the the thing is with the story, the structure, the three act structure is where it's really kind of a mess. It can be pretty messy to follow, because in the beginning, especially, and I have to kind of make a comparison with Fantastic Four, because I saw that first before I saw this one, even though Superman came out earlier than Fantastic Four. But in Fantastic Four, you and this probably might be spoiler warning. I'm trying not to make a spoiler warning, but I'm just kind of giving you an example of how how it starts. So just fair warning. If you don't want to hear spoiler, then move maybe about a minute. I'm just going to be very brief. But in any case, Fantastic Four, set it up where it has this montage on how the Fantastic Four came to be, and and it shows a montage of how about them like being heroes, stopping crime, stopping certain villains, and it felt like this was enough to kind of like get us catched up to this separate universe of Fantastic Four, and that's in my review from my earlier review that I mentioned that I do enjoy, that I do like and enjoy, because it felt like it catches up, and and yeah, I think that was done really well. But in Superman, though, the first scene, the first very beginning of the intro is text, and it shows that as time has passed, where Superman and the metahumans, other superheroes, power with powers, came into play, and it didn't. It was. I mean, granted, this was not likely an easy thing to make because we've seen the story of Superman done so many times. And I totally understand that, it's not an easy task to do. So I mean, this is definitely for DC fans that know the story enough and can easily get into. Okay, but if you were a new fan of Superman, there's like a new-ish to Superman, this might not be great for a great introduction for you overall. Um, in fact, I do wish the intro for Superman was like Fantastic Four, where we see the evolution kind of like in Cliff Notes, just to have a better idea of how Superman does is being a superhero and how people see him. But here it just seems like a sequel. It's weird. I'm supposed to kind of care that much when I mean I do care, because but it's again it feels like a sequel, and it doesn't. I don't know. That's where it's conflicting because as I am a DC, I do love comic book movies, DC, Marvel, um, and I can get into this fine. I also have to think about if I saw it from a perspective where I don't know a ton about Superman, and this one does not quite do it, and it shoves so much at you, and it kind of tells more than it does show. Um, especially intro where it's trying to set things up. So I think because of that, it can be pretty a mess. And there are moments in the movie where they try to introduce some new things, like Lex has some technology that's like, where did he what? How did he get this stuff? How did he? I mean, granted, he's a genius, but it's explain. Um, but yeah. But I don't know. It's pretty conflicted, and there's also another. In a way, this is like a different universe Superman in if you want to say that, because this is James Gunn universe basically, 2025 universe. This is a reboot of Superman, and this is you could say it's a new universe. Um, but there's like also this one change that they did for Superman in regarding his heritage that I did not mesh well with me, or not did not work for me. That you know it, I can't really go into it, but I hope at one point in the movie they backtrack on that because it doesn't I don't think it works as well. I mean, the writing is still at least strong enough that it keeps your interest, and it doesn't quite ruin it, but it's still not something I would imagine be in a Superman movie. Um, so uh, I think that's it. I can't. If I'm missing any more details, I think that's all I got right now. I certainly hope so. Um, but all in all, I think I would give Superman 4 stars. Um, so here's my ticket, and I will put it in here. So you might have noticed that some of the recent reviews have gotten a bit longer. Um, I am starting to I'm starting to feel like I need to add more, and plus I'm having issues with kind of like trying to meet that time, because it's like trying to move the video I have onto my editing, and it has to be a certain amount of time, or megabytes, gigabytes, whatever, just to get it to work. Otherwise, I have to redo the whole thing. So now I'm doing these pauses. So I think from now on, it's I'm gonna add I'm gonna it's gonna the videos are gonna be longer, so I can have more time to talk um, about this stuff. Um, so I hope this is okay. Um, but and in this but so at the but yeah at I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. But in any case, I will. If you like this review, give a like. If you don't, give dislike. That's fine. Um, put in the comments your thoughts. If you like, uh, what you think of the movie. If you've seen it, um, if you like it, great. If you don't like it, that's great. Whatever if your thoughts on it are great. Um, so, but I will see you in the next review. And take care.